In golf, there are many different aspects. Driving, iron shots, pitching, chipping, bunkers. However, one of the biggest aspects, and it's almost a game within a game, is putting. At the end of the hole, trying to get that golf ball in the cup is one of the biggest challenges. Now in this video, I'm going to show you 7 different ways you can hold the putter. And there's no right and wrong here, it's whatever suits you as a golfer that's going to help you get the golf ball in the hole more often, more consistently, and better than ever before. So that's right, we're going to go through 7 different ones. And it's crazy because a lot of these have developed over the last really 10, 20 years. The first I'm going to show you is the standard putting grip. The one that probably still to this date, the majority of golfers use. And it's very similar to your normal grip when you're hitting a full shot. The standard grip is where, as we've got the putter nice and straight, the hand that's closest to our target, so for a right-handed golfer, the left hand goes on top with the thumb straight down the front, and the right hand sits underneath that, again, with the thumb down the front. There's a couple of variations. You might see where index fingers start to point down the side, or index finger might wrap round, but very little differences. The advantage to this grip, it's very similar to your full shots for a lot of golfers. If you're right-handed, this is how you pretty much hold it, and if you're left-handed, you'd hold it the other way. The disadvantages for this standard grip is sometimes, because there's not a lot of structure in that left wrist, the stroke can become a little bit flicky, and certainly if you're a little bit nervous, that might not be the best stroke for you. However, that doesn't mean it's not successful. And a lot of the best players in the world, including players like Tiger Woods, holds it like that. So it can't be that bad. That's the standard grip, and it's still a good one. Grip type number 2, and I would say it's the second most popular also. Not quite sure where it originated from, but quite simply, it's the reverse of standard. So this time round, you're holding your putter behind the golf ball. The right hand for right-handed golfer goes on top, and the left hand goes underneath. There's variations where you could have index fingers down the side, or just index fingers wrapped round. Now, a lot of big names have used this type of grip. Players like Jordan Spieth, who is arguably one of the best putters over the last couple of decades. The advantage, it keeps the left wrist a lot straighter. Like through the stroke, it's very difficult to flick the left wrist in this position. The disadvantage is it feels very different to a normal grip. And I think for a lot of players, they would probably find it a little bit awkward at first. However, ouch. However, it's an option that I often go towards because I just feel like it keeps the putter, certainly putter face, a lot more stable. If you've not tried it, that'd be the first one I would definitely recommend if you struggle with putting. Grip type number 3 is the prayer grip. Now this one actually is quite popular. It's one that I've not massively experimented with myself, but quite simply, the putter is standing behind the golf ball. This time the objective is to get both hands as level as possible. Notice how my thumbs are almost straight down. What that does do is an advantage. It keeps the shoulders much more level. Notice if I go right hand lower, my right shoulder drops, or I go left hand lower, my left shoulder drops. With the prayer grip, everything's nice and level, everything's nice and square. Now, I definitely recommend if you're going to try this, go for a thicker handle, go for an actual thicker grip itself, because it's a bit easier to get your hands on. Disadvantage is, it feels a little bit loose in the hands. It doesn't feel like you've got a really good grasp of the actual putter itself. However, the advantages to the stroke are very positive. It's also worth mentioning, like different actual grips themselves, like they've got so much more experimental over the last few years. Gone of the day when all grips were just really, really thin. A lot of golfers still like that. It's not my biggest favorite, where you've got grips that are really fat now. You've got counterbalance grips, you've got long grips, you've got split grips. It's definitely worth, if you just need a bit of a confidence boost and you like the putter, sometimes just having a new actual grip on it can give you that little bit of confidence you need. Grip type number 4. And this one is often comes as golfers have tried all the others so far. This is one that I've definitely experimented with, certainly on the shorter putts, and it's called the claw. Quite simply, the left hand goes on the top as you would do with standard, but this time the right hand goes on in a very different way. You take the index finger and the middle finger and your thumb from your right hand, and quite simply you pinch the side of your grip. Now the advantage of this grip is huge, certainly if you get nervous hands, like if you get a little bit twitchy or a little bit yippy. When you take the palm of your right hand out of the equation and just hold with those 3 fingers, the hand is less twitchy. So if you get a little bit nervous and you notice your hands get a little bit more twitchy when you putt with the other styles of putting grips, the claw is a definite one to try. That's the advantages. The disadvantages is, and that's probably a good example, it slightly lacks power. Certainly on the longer putts, with the claw, it's sometimes really hard to get the ball to the hole. But on really short putts, it's definitely one to take the right hand on. And if you get really yippy on the little ones, definitely try the claw. Number 5 is broom handle. Super popular back in the day when broom handle putters were popular, the really long ones. The advantage of that is you actually completely separate your hands. You'd have one hand at the top, one hand underneath, and you can have all different variations of that as well. You can still claw with that, you can still reverse with that, but that's one certainly that's maybe not as popular now since anchoring became banned, but one that is definitely still an option. And number 6 is the arm lock grip style. You'll see a lot of brands now bring out putters that are longer in grip, and quite simply you lock it to your forearm. I've tried a couple in reviews in the past and do find it to be quite an advantage on keeping the putter really stable. Where I found it difficult with arm lock is actually judging the speed on different types of putts. But there's a couple again that are more extreme, but again, worth trying if you want to get the ball in the hole. And finally, number 7, just in case you've not got enough options. Now this one is actually one that I've never tried personally, but I know a few tour players use it, including players like Tommy Fleetwood. This is, not quite sure what to call it, either the underclaw or the reverse claw. Quite simply, left hand goes on top as normal, but this time, instead of pinching it at the side, pinching it underneath. So the right hand effectively goes underneath the putter. The advantage I can imagine there is that right arm stays really tucked to the body. I mean, like I said, I've honestly actually never ever tried this putting stroke, which I can't believe because I've pretty much tried every putting stroke possible going. This might be my new one. That feels a little bit strange, I must admit. Oh, thought we had a new putting stroke, everybody. 7 different styles, again, with the objective of getting that golf ball in the hole more frequently than not. Give it a go. Let me know in the comments which putter grip you try or which putter grip you use, and we'll see you next time.